listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today's show is about making the new year better, and we've identified some possible trends. If you've been listening to our show and know about the ecosystem approach, we'll talk about the finer points of implementing an energy approach to life. We are married intuitives with over 20 years experience who created the ecosystem approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Jason, I know you hate lists and that step-by-step formulas, well, like on the magazines and stuff. So what do you suggest for having a better 2022?
Well, the step-by-step lists are forms of programming, and
I forgot lists,
yes,
didn't I?
Yeah. Well, the step-by-step, or do this, or you can have a great life in 3 easy steps, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't believe that. Those are forms of programming.
Yes.
But here are some areas to consider to focus for an amazing year.
Okay.
And if you're implementing the ecosystem approach, this just kinds of point you in a particular direction.
Okay.
So here's the first one. I think this is the most important one. Oh my gosh, this is the most important. Decide that you're no longer going to be a machine or robot.
What a concept.
And so what do we mean by machine or robot?
Exactly.
When you get all of your cues from outside of yourself.
Oh, that's a really good way to.
As human beings, we're designed to be directed by our essence, what some people call soul. But because we've been so programmed all of our life, from grade school, from kindergarten to college,
hundreds of years,
yes,
we've been programmed.
Yes, and that's why we gravitate toward these, best steps for this or best steps for that. But it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
So if what's neat about the ecosystem approach is you don't have to change your job, change your hair color, move, sell all your worldly belongings, any of that.
Go live on a mountaintop.
It is totally an internal process.
Okay.
And start from within, because it does. People think, well, I feel like a machine at my job. I'm just doing inbox, outbox.
I feel like a machine when I'm dealing with my kids. I feel like a machine when I'm dealing with my husband, my partner, however it goes. I feel like a machine when I'm going to the grocery store.
And because of program, we think change the stuff around you, outside of yourself.
Right.
But we're saying just the opposite. Change what's inside of you.
Right.
And of course, how do you do that with the ecosystem approach?
Absolutely.
So here's the next one. Programming your life with goals and objectives. Well, if you've had a goal or objective all your life to be a doctor, for example,
okay,
we're not saying you shouldn't do that, but we're saying as you apply the ecosystem approach and go internally,
okay,
then it helps you make those individual decisions. It helps you guide your path to becoming a doctor much better. That's organic to you. That's natural to you.
Or whatever path that you're on.
Yes. There may be some people say, oh, what was I thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Exactly.
I don't want to be a doctor. I don't even like blood and gore. I'm not going to be a doctor. But most of the time, that's not the case. What happens is there's something that's solid on the inside that says, oh my gosh, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. This is what I want.
Okay. Here's
another one. Search for truth using refined intuition. Understanding that facts can be framed and distorted. Well, if you listen to politics today, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Yes. People are saying, no, this is right. No, this is right. You don't know what to believe. Well, as humans, we're designed not to go outside of ourselves to figure out what we believe.
Okay.
To start from the inside. And when we say refined intuition, we know that it has to do with understanding your Enneagram type.
Yes.
And your emotional story, and how that colors the impressions and intuitive messages that you get.
Okay.
And unless you understand that, you can't really be objective.
Okay.
So in a way, I'm contradicting myself, but not really. Refined intuition says, oh, I can use this. But if you don't refine it and don't go inward and say, I know my Enneagram type, I know my emotional story, and maybe in this particular instance, I may not be getting good information, you don't have refined intuition to go out and look at other things.
I can't resist, Jason.
Okay.
How do you get refined intuition?
Well, the ecosystem approach and
Exactly.
going inward and clearing the things that are clearing the negative energy that's attached to your essence.
Well, and that's blocking you from real information, from information that you need personally to go forward in your life. It's phenomenal to understand what blocks you. And I bet, by the way, everyone will be very surprised what blocks you. And the other part of it is that when that refined intuition starts to come forward, what happens is there's and I'm going to say it with quotes, satisfaction.
Yeah.
With that comes from within.
I got this.
I got this.
I know this.
And that whatever comes your way, you can actually handle in a way that in other words, you don't have to be angry, you don't have to be bitter, you don't have to be sad, and you don't have to be a victim. You can see it for the truth that it is, and you can handle it for the truth that it is, whatever comes your way. But you have to start on that journey within first.
So here's one of my favorites. Here's the next one's one of my favorites.
Okay.
And of course, this is said in the Jason way, but
okay, of course.
No more namby-pamby spirituality. And I love saying that,
Yeah. The problem is that it's not said correctly, but that's okay. I'm not going to say a word. Okay?
Mamby-pamby, namby-pamby.
Okay.
I don't get it, but you get the idea.
But what he's talking about is la spirituality of love and light, and everything's going to be okay. Excuse me, I've been on this planet a few years. I guarantee you, I've tried those things. I've never had love and light for more than 5 minutes tops.
Well, the truth is you can get to that place,
yes,
but you
can't
live in that place.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to help you with the ecosystem approach is see yourself as an ecosystem
and understand
that it's always in a good place.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have some special thing. But here's what we're trying to get at.
Okay.
A lot of wellness activities, whether it's crystals, meditation, massage, there's all sorts of them,
exactly.
Flower essences. None of those are bad in and of themselves.
Not at all.
But if you use those just to get a little bit of relief, so you can go back and be a machine, where you're living according to someone else's rules, where it's all structured for you, and there's nothing inside. There's nothing. You're hollow on the inside.
Right.
That's what I call namby-pamby spirituality, and this is the time. This is the time of the Age of Aquarius to get rid of that and go deep and to understand who you are authentically. So you're acting from that authentic place all the time.
And if you feel, if the first thing that comes up, there's no way I could do that. First thing I'd be clearing is fear.
Yes.
Fear of the truth about myself. It's a big deal.
So here's the next one. We're going to be talking about this throughout the show. But use astrology in practical ways.
Yes.
It's not for prediction. When you use astrology for prediction, you dilute it, you discredit it, and you make yourself look bad.
Okay.
But you can use the energy for personal change and evolution. And we'll talk some more about that.
Okay.
Here's another one. Become more conscious about seeing the metaphors that are all around you and are talking to you. Now,
give an example, could you please?
Our day is revolves around mom.
It does.
So when she doesn't tell us things, but she acts a certain way, and then we read the metaphor of how that is,
and act accordingly for her.
Yes,
it's true. That's a really good example.
Our dogs.
Yeah.
They don't say, hey, excuse me, I have to go out.
Pardon me.
But
But actually they do.
they look at the door
Yes.
and they look at us
And they look at the door.
like, hey, wake up, So, there's metaphors all over,
Right.
I had a pain in my thumb, and I've been reading, what's the metaphor? Why is that pain there? What am I trying to learn from that? That's, change everything to a metaphor.
Right.
Here's the last one.
Okay.
If, we've talked about this in the show before, starseeds on this planet now, and starseeds are people that have an essence that's connected to somewhere else in the universe. And if you don't know what that is, we've done whole shows about those, so you can go back and look it up, Google it, that sort of thing. But there's a rebirth and awakening for starseeds, and this is the Age of Aquarius. It's a new year. The astrology is all there. It's time for starseeds
embrace it,
to live their purpose.
Exactly.
To do their purpose.
It. It's what it's all about.
Yes. Than themselves.
Yes. And it's fantastic, everyone. Time. Yes.
Yeah, and to have a consciousness that's greater than your preconceived notions and prejudices.
I love it.
We met your doctor is a starseed, and we never had enough time to talk about that, but I wonder if I doubt if she's aware of it, and I don't know how she would process that information. But there's a lot of people that we interact with all the time that we see are starseeds.
Yes.
And we know they don't know it, what that means. It's not that they need to know it, but it's important to make their life richer and more full.
Exactly. Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
The best thing I can do for the new year is decide not to be a machine and connect with essence, with your essence.
Okay.
Understanding programming and how it sneaks up on you with goals and objective versus listening and clearing.
Yes.
And evaluate your energy practices and refocus on the deeper ones with meaningful connection to essence. No more mamby-pamby spirituality.
Okay.
And the ecosystem approach shows you how to have a deep connection with essence and overcome robot tendencies.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about some coming trends and how they could personally affect you. These trends are especially important for starseeds and your life going forward. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about some coming trends, how they could personally affect you. These trends are especially important for starseeds and your life going forward. We are married intuitives with over 20 years experience who created the Ecosystem Approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. And by the way, we are about being practical in everything that we do, but we weren't until we started and created the Ecosystem Approach.
So you could say no more mamby-pamby, namby-pamby spirituality.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay. So Jason, first explain what you mean by trends. And you know what? Why are they really so especially important for starseeds?
Well, trends are a reflection of the way energies are organized. So when we see a trend, it's a reflection of how we see the energies.
Mm-hmm.
So although we don't ever predict the future, when someone comes to us and says, well, I'm trying to do this project, and we can look at the energy and say, oh yeah, the energy is lined up for you to do that. It's not a guarantee. It's not a prediction.
Nothing is a guarantee, by the way.
It's just showing that everything's kind of moving in the right direction.
Right. But when we do see trends, we can also see what's blocking those trends.
Yes.
And what's really enhancing those trends.
Yes.
So
and sometimes we see someone wants to do this, and we say, well, there's no energy around that at all.
Exactly.
And they just pulled it out of a hat someplace. So those are trends. So we're looking at the big trends, and then we're trying to apply them to you. So and here's the thing about the starseeds.
Okay.
we've realized we've been really mute. If you've been with us for a long time, we haven't talked about this stuff. And the reason is because, when we start talking about star seeds, it's very easy to be discredited from the outside.
That is correct.
It's like, oh, you believe in aliens. Oh, you believe in blah, blah, blah.
Right. Right.
And it's not based on what we believe, it's based on what we see.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see that when you look at someone's essence, and we've been doing this for so many people for 20 years,
right?
We see that there's these connections that don't connect with Earth. And we see that people that have their essence that comes from Earth has a slightly different orientation to the world than the starseeds do. So, but we've also realized that all the people that we worked with, not all, but the vast majority, are starseeds.
Well, and one of the things I wanted to just jump in and
chances
say,
are, if you're listening today,
you're a starseed.
Yes. So.
And one of the things that I have seen as a trend about starseeds is that you have an awareness, a connection to an awareness that is
more evolved.
There you go.
That there's more to this lifetime, this world
than what is
here, and it has to be brought forward.
And it's an energy.
It's part of your purpose. This.
Yes, you do.
Chances are, though, starseeds have been marked and they've been suppressed.
Yes.
So they're so busy dealing with the mark, their trauma, whatever in life, that they never get to really put forth their purpose. But now in the age of Aquarius, it's time.
It's a new opportunity.
It's time. If you're in right now, if you're thinking about this, oh my gosh, is this time for me? And I'm saying yes. If you're listening right now, this interests you. If you're fascinated by this topic,
yes,
I guarantee you're a starseed. So, go to our website right now, our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for a free section. But let's keep going, okay?
Okay.
So, the other thing about the trends is my intention is to make these trends come alive in this year. So join me with this. See what you think. Here's the first one. Okay. Waking up to purpose. Oh my gosh, so many of us are just bogged down with the day-to-day dealings of maybe an alcoholic parent, or trauma in childhood, or feeling bad about yourself, that they never get to their purpose. Now's the time to wake up to what's my purpose, and then say, okay, what's keeping me from doing that? Clear that away using the ecosystem approach and start living it.
Exactly.
And it lasts for a lifetime. It's, it's for health, it's happiness.
Exactly.
Deep meaning.
Yes.
Purpose.
Okay. So, and the next one is, Jason, astrology, right?
Using astrology. It's been discredited through misunderstanding by using it for prediction. It should be to identify the energy flow.
Exactly.
And then use that energy flow.
And you can also use clearing at the same time to get the flow that you need and want.
Yes.
That's exactly right. All right.
So I think we're going to even do a show about this one, but there's a new way of conducting war and conflict that are possible in the age of Aquarius that have never been possible before.
Right.
And without getting into the weeds about that, but we see that you can resolve conflicts with attractive energies.
Yes.
So it's not going to be about this dogma or this religion or this religion. It's going to be about, hey, those guys have an energy about them that we want, and we're gonna
I want
to be part of that group.
I'm going to interrupt you and say, one time I was in a store, and for the love of me, I can't remember it. It was in San Francisco, and it was a all natural organic store. And this woman came up to me and she said, I've never seen anyone in my lifetime that has the energy that you do. And I said, oh, is that a good thing? I wasn't sure. And she said, it's amazing. I've been watching you. And she said, I'm not stalking you. I said, okay. But she said, your energy is phenomenal.
She was reading your aura.
She was reading me. And she said, what do you do? And I said to her, I use the ecosystem approach. And she's like, oh, I've never heard of it. And so unfortunately I didn't have a card at the moment. But my point that I'm getting at is, I don't even realize that I wear this energy wherever I go.
And we've seen this for ourselves, that we go out in the world and this energy is all around us. So even though people may not have the words or the vocabulary,
correct,
they see it. And if you're listening right now, we want you to have that energy.
Exactly. And you can. That's
yes.
the point we're trying to make.
And it's going to change how we do conflict and war
exactly.
in the future. So let's keep going.
Okay.
There's going to be a reckoning for traditional medicine methodology. That's keyword, methodology, because traditional medicine treats humans like machines.
Yes, it does.
Oh my gosh, does that sound familiar? But here's the other thing. Alternative medicine methodology has this idea that being natural is the way to health. And we see it has to do with purpose, and acting from your essence is the way to health. It's that ship has sailed, so to speak.
Exactly.
I was just reading an article just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
About the smoke in California. Can really affect the birth rate, and having just breathing it for a month, the smog that was created from these forest fires can really have a negative effect on a woman who's pregnant.
Wow, I had no idea.
So just FYI. Okay, so that reckoning is going to happen. We'll talk about that some more in some other shows. Here's the next one. The idea that humans are machines will come into question. I've seen it written that, oh, you're just you're a machine and you have to take care of that machine. That's not true. You're not a machine. You're a human being. And what does that mean? Well, it starts with your essence. It starts with that natural part of you.
Right.
And the need to push and drive yourself towards success. Oh my gosh, how many times have you heard that?
Right.
Programming yourself and always looking for the best program. It's time for your essence to have credibility. Yes. I'm working for my essence, and that'll be a good thing. You can talk about that in the world, and it'll be a good thing.
Right.
Okay. Next one. Religion
and spirituality.
Yeah, and cults are going to be reexamined. Okay. The dogma that this is the way, this is the way, this is that. You can't
this is the only way.
You can't question it. Nothing can be.
That's going to come into question.
I've seen that for years with both spirituality and religion.
Okay.
And it's going to be questioned.
Right.
Technology without a heart. It's going to be reexamined. We have to
deal.
round it off.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with technology per se, but if you take an approach to life that's completely technological or based on your left brain,
that means you have no heart.
Yes.
And we all know you have to have heart in order to live in the world.
Just read an article recently about the coming mental health crisis. Well, it's clear to me. Here's the key point.
Yes.
That you're going to have a mental health crisis if you're treating yourself like a machine.
Yes.
Because machines, when you take them out of their routine or the way they normally work,
programmed,
they can't function without another program.
Exactly.
And during this pandemic, they weren't able to function.
And we saw a lot of it.
But if you're using the ecosystem approach, you're not going to have that problem.
Exactly.
And here's the last one. It's really quick, but we talked about it before. Intuition will become a normal part of everyday life. Science, healthcare, engineering, therapy, relationships. We do all of our shows basically telling you, hey, we're using our intuition.
We are
to create these interesting perspectives that you might not have ever heard about before.
Exactly. Jason, what are the key points of this segment?
Trends are organized energies moving in one direction. You can help by using your intention. This is the age of Aquarius, and change can happen. Work with the energies for yourself and create the changes. Right. Don't wait for them to happen. Common structures will be reevaluated in science, healthcare, religion, spiritual practice. Be a part of it by reevaluating yourself first.
Exactly.
The ecosystem approach shows you how to thrive in the age of Aquarius and be part of positive change.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to catch the wave, or use the energies of 2022 that are occurring naturally to make this the best year of your life. So far, anyway. Are you game? This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about how to catch the wave or use the energies of 2022 that are occurring naturally to make this the best year of your life. Are you game? We are married intuitives with over 20 years experience who created the ecosystem approach for you. This is much different because we see human beings as ecosystems that need to be restored instead of programmed. We show you how to take an energy approach for internal discovery that is rational, practical, and useful for everyday life. Okay, Jason, what do you mean by catch the wave? As far as I know, there is no surfing around here. So,
in our programmed world, we don't think of energies, and we don't even think about, how to understand those energies. So we see, and for those people that do understand energies, we just respond to them. We let them happen, and then we say, okay, now what do I do?
Okay.
We become victims to them. Okay.
And Okay.
I'm saying just the opposite. Hey, these energies are here for us to use.
Oh.
And we need to use them.
That's an amazing concept.
Catching the waves is seeing the energies.
Yes.
And then using them to make our life better.
Well, and when he's talking about seeing them, he's also talking about feeling them.
Yes.
And because not everybody can see and not everybody can feel that energy that he's talking about. But when you use the ecosystem approach, what happens is those things start to happen naturally.
It's kind of a vague metaphor.
It really is, but it's a good one. I like it actually a lot.
So we use astrology as a language and a way to understand energy.
That's right.
When you astrology can be used to see energy and energy patterns. These are the waves that we're talking about.
The patterns.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And you can use those ways to help yourself evolve and grow. And when it's used to be predictive, it gets discredited.
Yes, it does.
Your horoscope said that you're going to be angry with your husband. Well, I could blame your horoscope, but or if you weren't angry,
a waste of energy to me.
Those things really don't matter.
Yeah.
What's really important, and if you start saying, oh, my horoscope said, or you go into work every day, well, my horoscope said, blah, blah, blah.
Right. And by the way, I've been in those situations more than once, but go ahead. Yes.
People do it for fun.
Yes.
But it discredits astrology because it's very, very useful. And even astrologers do it. Most astrologers write in a predictive frame. They talk about the way it's going to be. Right. So there was an article that I just read this weekend.
Okay.
An NBC article. It said why astrology in 2022 is laughable. Has laughable predictions, and why they aren't harmless nonsense. So it was very negative against astrology. The truth is, I kind of agree. Okay. Because it was predictive. Okay. And it said he said that he called it a pseudoscience and a method that is can seem similar to science, but disregards important features of real science,
right? Like
hypothesis and and experiments that are done so that you can see the same thing happen over and over again.
Meaning proof.
Right. This type of energy doesn't work that way.
No. Well, and here's the thing that I want to say about all of this, that
it's the wrong frame.
It is. It's not only the wrong frame, but it's also that people out there have not discovered how to measure the intangibles, the things that we cannot see, but we can feel. Or for people like Jason and I, we can see many things that many cannot. And so we have been discredited many, many times for what we see.
Yes, because, love, success, all these things are energies, but you can't measure them in the traditional way or compartmentalize them
or create a formula.
Yes, make them, I loved you last week, and so I'm going to love you the same way this week. No, or or more,
How
more
boring would that be?
More importantly, if I'm irritating with you this week, I may be irritated next week, but it's a different type of irritation.
Oh, okay.
And we're just joking around now, but the
We
truth
are.
is that using the frame of science is crazy. It's a misapplication of trying to see astrology through the frame of traditional science, where
Correct.
you have a hypothesis and that you can create a result over and over and over again.
Exactly.
But here's another article that we read, and Patricia's going to read some of it, that was predictive. And I'm gonna explain the article a little bit. We just have just a few sections here.
Okay.
And then we're going to take how you can change it from being predictive to being usable for you personally.
Exactly. So you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
This is about this year, the 2022.
Exactly. One of the most exciting astrological omens we have to look forward to in 2022 is February's Pluto return. As one of the outer planets, Pluto's path is a slow one, meaning it hasn't made a full revolution in 225 years. History fans will be quick to point out that the last time this happened was 1776, the same year America signed the Declaration of Independence. Pluto will complete its return in the sign of Capricorn, meaning this month. Correct?
No, it's in February.
In February,
Yeah.
excuse me. Creating a potentially societally
juxtaposition. They like to make themselves sound important.
Yeah.
Society altering juxtaposition of power and change.
As the planet that represents the underworld, expect for secrets to be revealed, the marginalized to rise up, and chances for a phoenix to rise from the ashes.
So that's all very subjective and very kind of vague.
Yes, very much.
So how do you use that? How do you make that? That was predictive. Okay. So here's how you can do that. Okay. She said, if you the secrets will be revealed. Well, that's part of Pluto, and he likes to uncover the secrets. I've got a Scorpio moon, which is ruled by Pluto, and I love to uncover the secrets, and that's why we do what we do. That's my part of the ecosystem approach, is to uncover the secrets.
Right.
But if you have secrets in your life, that's part of your personal story. If you have secrets that someone around you is holding that is affecting you, this is the time for you to have those to be revealed. So clear for that.
And in other words,
use the clearing approach.
Exactly.
So that you can benefit from this movement of revealing the secrets.
Well, and maybe it's not a secret that you have, maybe it's a secret that somebody else has. And if that's the case, clear so that whatever that secret is about, that you will be able to handle it.
There have been so many people that we've worked with who have been sexually abused, who keep the secret and they act out, but
have no idea why.
They become the black sheep, and the perpetrator becomes the good guy.
Exactly.
Secrets revealed. Here's the other way.
Okay.
If you've been marginalized in some way, clear so you have your power back. There's people out there now that are listening right now that have been marginalized. Hey, it's time to clear a path for you to have your power. Right. No longer to be a victim, to be empowered in your life. It's a big deal. Use this astrology energy for that. And then if it's time for you to rise up, they talked about, the phoenix rising from the ashes. Well, that's very poetic. But if you're the phoenix that's rising up,
yes,
clear for that. If that's there's something you always wanted, clear for that.
Exactly.
If there's a part of you that says, I've been suppressed, clear for that.
Well, clear the reasons for being suppressed, and clear the blocks that are keeping you from the energy you need to rise up.
And if you don't understand completely what we're talking about, go to our website right now, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for our free section and get our weekly newsletter. So here we go.
Okay.
If the energies that this astrology is causing you struggles or problems, challenges, all that means is that it's saying, okay, here's an opportunity to clear it. Without the clearing, you don't clear it. You just get bogged down with, oh, woe is me.
Explain, Be more specific about that. People are dying to hear this, Jason.
I had someone who told me that during an eclipse where it was new beginnings,
right?
But that broke up, a relationship broke up. So it was very hard. It was very difficult. It was very painful emotionally.
Correct.
For that breakup. But it was the possibility for a new beginning.
Exactly.
So clear all the things that, in that case, if that person would clear all the things that were affecting that breakup, the guilt, the shame, oh, what did I do wrong?
Or being afraid of being abandoned or feeling rejected, or
there'll never be another person.
Exactly.
All those things.
Those are all clearable things.
And they
all of them
create great potential for a new beginning.
And you don't carry that garbage or that negative energy into the next relationship. That is a great, huge, big point about all of this. Are we ready for key points, Jason?
Yes.
All right.
Catch the wave of energies and use them for your life and evolution.
Okay.
If energies make you struggle, then see it as an opportunity and clear that struggle using the ecosystem approach.
Okay.
A robot can never use subtle energies that we talk about, but humans using the ecosystem approach can have great benefit.
Correct.
And the ecosystem approach shows you how to restore your humanity using energy to heal and reconnect with your essence.
Okay, so are we going to talk about how to clear real fast?
Real quick, you can sit, stand, be walking, be laying down. When we say and to eliminate, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, gather those things up to eliminate, which is either emotions, barriers, veils, and illusions. Gather those up and blow them into the processor. You'll see a picture of the processor on your screen right now. If you're listening on the radio, you can see that visual of the processor by going to our website and signing up for our free section, theecosystemapproach.org.
Exactly. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to do clearings to help you have the best of 2022 and every year after that for you. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to do clearings to help you have the best 2020 for yourself and every year after that. Ready to get started, Jason?
Here we go.
All right.
I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the barriers so I can feel and know that the Age of Aquarius is a time for change and being more authentic to myself.
Take a breath. Now we're going to shorten it just a little bit, and to eliminate the barriers so I can be aware of the toxic effects of being a machine and programming in my life. Take a breath, nice and easy.
And to eliminate any intense feelings of worry and anxiety that comes from trying to act like a machine. It's toxic for you. It makes it difficult for you.
Take a breath. And to eliminate the feelings of fear and hurt and shame that I have because programming doesn't work for me. Take a breath, nice and easy.
So many people, they can't be programmed for one thing or another, and they feel so bad about themselves, like, oh, I failed.
I did the wrong thing. It's not about that at all. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Go ahead.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can know that my natural talents are diluted by programming myself like a machine.
Big time. Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can reevaluate my life and its structure, rules, and assumptions that are not working for me. Take a breath.
This is the Age of Aquarius. Time to reevaluate everything.
Exactly.
And to eliminate any feelings of fear and terror that I can't trust the messages from my essence, that I should program myself instead. No,
exactly.
That's crazy.
Take a breath.
Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can see my essence is rejected when I try to act like a machine because it's toxic. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any intense anger that I have that these bad employees,
That was
from last week.
That is from last week. Yes.
So I'll make one up. Okay. And to eliminate any intense anger I have because I've been programmed all my life, but now it's time during the age of Aquarius to make it better. Take a breath.
And I just got one. And to eliminate the false belief that says, I have this intense anger. Yes, but it doesn't make me a bad person. It makes me someone who is not willing to let something else program me. Take a breath.
And to eliminate any resistance I have to seeing astrology as a tool and a language to understand and use energy for my benefit.
Excellent.
Take a breath.
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that energies from the planets can be used for my personal benefit. That's a concept. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can clear my way to my authentic purpose and live that purpose for the rest of my life.
Take a breath. And to eliminate any numbness or blocks I have to my emotional story so I can clear it before I have mental health problems. Take a breath.
And to eliminate the barriers so I can see the possibilities for me using astrology energies to power my evolution and change.
Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see, so I can catch the wave of energies to overcome the blocks for my own personal evolution. I love that. Take a breath. Jason, I'm going to activate life force. You ready?
Yes.
Here we go. We didn't do this in the last, I didn't teach this, so just follow along. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy, the most powerful energy that anyone and all of us has access to in our highest and best interest. Take a breath, nice and easy.
And to activate life force so I can have hope to be solid and confident about my purpose and how I fit in the world in the age of Aquarius.
I love that one, Jason. And by the way, I want you to take that energy and pull it in through the top of your head. Let it go all the way down your body and your arms and your legs. I want you to stop it at the tips of your toes. I want you to turn around and I want you to ask that life force energy right now to help you remove more internal negative energy because it's not serving you. Take a nice breath. And to activate life force so I can trust and understand that my essence is far better than any formula or program about my life. Take a nice breath. Pull it in.
And to activate life force so I can decide to be aware of the energies around me and use them for my benefit and growth.
I love that. And to activate happiness, great health, hope, laughter, love, fun, awareness, objectivity, creativity, and the ability to know that I can use energies that are around me in my highest and best interest, starting right now today, so I can join the age of Aquarius as I was destined to do. Take a breath. Jason, what are we going to talk about next week?
Well, I created the show because, over the holidays, I watched the tail end of a rerun of the Bucket List.
Okay.
And so,
okay.
And there was a scene where his assistant had climbed to the top of Mount Everest to put his ashes there.
Oh.
And since this movie came out, everybody talks about, well, what's on your bucket list? What's on your bucket list?
Right.
Well, next week, we're going to talk about the ultimate adventure. Oh. I guarantee you that there's no other place to go or thing to do that is more difficult, more satisfying, more beneficial for you than this ultimate adventure. And this adventure, you can throw out your bucket list. You don't have to do any more resolutions.
Okay.
And the truth is that most people won't do it, but it's free. You don't have to go anyplace.
Okay.
And the reason this is so important, because on the other side of this adventure,
okay,
you will have gained this solid part within you that most people never ever get to.
And I need to say this to you. It's phenomenal, everyone. It is phenomenal. And the other thing is that if you've ever asked yourself, what am I doing here? Why am I here at this time? Know that that's a really good sign that you're a starseed, but it's time to come and start that ultimate adventure.
Yes.
Using the ecosystem approach. With that said, Jason, what can I do to start the ecosystem approach today?
So if we've touched you today, if you said, oh my gosh, I want to be part of the Age of Aquarius. I want, I'm a starseed. I want to start using the energies that are identified with astrology to make myself evolve.
Okay.
Then go to our website right now, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for our free section. Every week you get a little backstory of this of the topic for the week, and then a list of clearings, so you can do them in between. The more you clear, the better it'll be.
Yes.
So if you want to start doing the ecosystem approach, listen to our show every week.
Exactly.
Sign up for our free section and do the clearings over and over and over again.
Okay. What about Facebook?
Go visit our Facebook page. We have these are videos. If you're watching right now as a video, you probably found it, but it's theecosystemapproach.org on Facebook.
Okay.
And our videos are listed there.
And by the way, they're fun and you can laugh at us.
Yes.
So we'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern time. This is Transformation Talk Radio. You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Remember, your ecosystem, especially in the Age of Aquarius, is the most important one in the world.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.